And that's
if
exactly...
this GM thing goes through and this Chrysler giveaway to Fiat goes through, you can kiss all laws in America goodbye. The court system, as bad as it is already, it's over.
Yeah, John, thanks, Bob. And John, you hit the nail on the head. When this GM thing just occurred with the pensions, that was a huge red flag to me. And, Bob, that's why I asked you to kind of qualify at what point.
Yeah.
And you answered it, and I appreciate your answer and all three of your wisdom on this. But I'm at that point now where I just don't see, it's a gamble. But the tax hit versus not seeing it, It's a pretty easy decision for me to make.
And Doug, this is almost the Vegas mentality here with one striking difference. In Vegas, we can pick up our chips and go to the cashier when we want to. And even if we lose our backside, we go get some more chips, and then we come back in. We get some more money, we make them into chips. But that opportunity for so many people is over and done with. Whatever you've got is what you've got. And there ain't going to be no more of it.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate your call. I love calls like this because these are real people, folks, looking for real solutions to problems we know exist, but we don't know in what fashion or form or what expediency the taskmasters here are going to take. And this overall, gentlemen, is the problem here. And this is worrisome to me because there's no faith in anything anymore. I mean, you can't trust the government. You can trust them when they're opening up their mouths and reading the teleprompters. They're lying through their teeth. You can trust that the 535 Congress critters assembled in the District of Criminals are exactly that, save for a few. So all bets are off at this point. And I would like to express to people that you are the master and commander now of your own ship. It might be a broken down old frigate. It might be a nice little sleuth. It might be a racing yacht, depending on your circumstance. But here's the point. You're the captain of this thing. It's either going to run aground or sink or keep floating because it now depends on you. That's why I've asked people time and again. You listen to this program, tell some other people, get them on board. Let's get them educated because there is nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody on planet Earth that is going to be looking out for your interests because they're too busy trying to cover their own backsides right now, trying to stay out of jail or trying to get reelected or whatever. But the point here, folks, is you better start looking out for your own best interest. Use your own judgment and your own discernment as best you can based on the information that you have. But don't sit there and be apathetic about this and say, well, I'm going to get around to it tomorrow. Take control of your own life and your own finances now because they ain't going to watch out for you. Pretty sound advice, wouldn't you say, Bob? I've gotten that from a few people just recently.
Yeah, I agree.
God.
Well, I mean, that's the whole basis of gold ownership. Gold ownership obviously is eliminating counterparty risk. I mean, we can't emphasize that enough.
And speaking of which, while you're on the subject, by the way, caller off air told me that an updated list on Ron Paul's H.R. 1207 is sitting now at 200. If that is an accurate figure, he needs 18 more to discharge that petition, bring it to the floor for debate, and hopefully passage. Robbie?
Well, I've spent the last 6 weeks all over the radio on this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm reaching people that we would never normally reach. And the mainline networks have allowed me to go on. And if they ever knew where I was coming from, they wouldn't have me there.
Well, if you notice, the Peter Schiffs and people of that ilk are no longer on the financial shows anymore. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with good reason. They've been spot on. They've been right in their predictions while everybody was laughing, going, ha, 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 you're full of monkey milk. These are the cheerleaders for Wall Street.
You know where they're all showing up?
Where's that?
Business News Network, which is out of Canada.
Yeah, BNF, yeah. BNN.
BNN.
Yeah, I liked it before when it was that other network.
Well,
it was better. What was it called, the other one?
I'm not sure, but it's a very gold-friendly...
I can't remember. I used to watch it every day.
Yeah, it's a very gold-friendly network, I might add.
By the way,
yeah, it is.
Speaking of Canada, we got a call from, and I can't find my note here, it was from the authorities in North Vancouver, Canada. And evidently, people are putting up either bumper stickers or signs with our phone number. And we had a Canadian official call down to the office today and said, well, you know, they were lamenting that Republic Broadcasting is getting out there, and even our number is getting out there. And my wife said, well, you know, we've got 35 different talk show hosts. You know, I guess we could go on the air and ask the people in northern Vancouver, you know, to cease and desist. And he goes, no, that's okay. You know, we'll just keep taking them down as they put them up. So
isn't that dreadful?
You people in North Vancouver, they've said that they're going to be the litter keepers. So if they consider this to be graffiti or litter, litter more. Okay, keep them busy.
I used to live there. I lived in West Vancouver, which is right next to North Van.
Good groups of people up there. I was not aware of it, but good groups of people up there. Senator DeMint, here's another thing on the Obama calendar. My God, gentlemen, I don't know if I'm in a waking nightmare or this is just somebody's idea of a joke. I'm expecting Mr. Big Ears here, as Alan Stang calls him, just to pop out of the, you know, the little romper room box and say, just fooling. Mr. Barry Sartoro here is monkeying around with the health care. And, of course, we know that this was Hillary Clinton's dream. It takes a village idiot, and everybody can be nice little socialists, and we'll all share nothing of what we have left. 4 weeks ago, the Democrats in Congress snuck in into the $1 trillion stimulus package, a dangerous provision that could take government-run health care to new heights and dramatically change health policy as it exists today. And this is their backdoor approach, incremental, but they're getting their national health care. The bill contained $1 billion to fund new health care research that could be used to ration health care services for Americans, denying them proper treatment they deserve. Give you some examples. You find folks up there in Canada. Socialism works good. Government takes, 70-75% of your money? But when it comes to the health care, if you need surgery, forget it. Give you an example. A guy had screwed up tendons in his shoulder. Well, just to get in and get examined took him months, about 3 months to get in to get examined. To have it surgically repaired, which it needed, he was put on a waiting list for 2.5 years. Now, this is what the guy did. When he got, we can't even see you for 3 months, he went down to Minneapolis. He got it done in a day. Went back to Canada, reported back to them and said, look, I got this done in the States in 1 day. You people are telling me you can't look at me for 3 months. They said, that's right. Well, he knew he needed the surgery because of the visit he made to Minneapolis, Minnesota. He went back down, got the surgery. In a couple days, he's back in Canada. And let me explain something to you fine folks out there. In Great Britain, Canada, Sweden, everywhere, these government bureaucrats are deciding which patients may receive which treatments based on how beneficial the treatment will be, according to some bureaucrat. Beneficial to government, that is, not to the patient. Now, these comparative effective research, or this new fund, this $1 billion fund for the CER, this is very dangerous stuff. Very dangerous. Free market, folks, works in building automobiles as well as it does in health care. The best are out there, and it is still a competitive business. Remember that when hospitals used to compete for your business in the same city that you were in? Remember that? Competition in the medical field. They used to do this. They used to bring on the best doctors. They shaved their own waste because the business of the hospital is to make a profit and care for people. It is a business. But all of that is going to be thrown out the window. New socialist craze that's going on in America. We're all being Obamanized. I mean, and
well, let's go one step further with this. There's legislation in the works to data codify everybody in the country, and it also is going to be used. The same sort of plan is going to be used all over the world, and they're going to have every doctor in the world and particularly in the United States, enter data in on the patient, and no matter how innocuous. And, of course, the doctor has to do that under the law if the law is passed. And, of course, it's going to take time, and he's going to have less time for patients and so on and so forth. But the data is going to be used for euthanasia. This is what they're after. If you're 17 years old and you've got a chronic disease, you're dead. If you're 63 and you get something wrong with you, you're dead.
We'll take this break. We'll take up your phone calls right after this break. Stay tuned.